What if I told you that staying single is not a weakness, but the greatest strength you can develop? That solitude, which many run from, could actually be your path to mastery, peace, and freedom. In a world obsessed with relationships, most never pause to ask the deeper question, what if being single is the highest form of living? Today we'll uncover the hidden truths behind this choice. To live single is to reclaim your entire existence. In companionship, compromise becomes law, but in solitude, the law is your own will. Every decision, every step belongs to you alone. This is not selfishness, but sovereignty, the highest form of freedom. When a person learns to stand without leaning, they discover the raw taste of autonomy. It is here, in the absence of constant negotiation, that one finds the rare sweetness of true independence. Peace of mind is the crown jewel of life, yet it is so easily disturbed. Entanglements often shake it with conflict, jealousy, or expectation. To remain single is to guard your inner sanctuary from unnecessary storms. You do not owe your tranquility to another's moods or desires. You keep it intact like a lamp shielded from the wind. In silence and solitude, that flame burns steadily, and with it comes the clarity that makes life worth living. Being single is not emptiness, it is presence. Presence of yourself, unbroken and whole. Many who tie themselves to others slowly dissolve into shadows, reshaped by demands, by compromises, by endless adaptation. They forget the sound of their own voice. To be alone is to meet yourself again, to hear your own thoughts clearly, to recognize your own desires without disguise. Solitude is not absence, it is the fullest form of presence one can experience. Freedom is the most precious of all treasures, greater even than wealth or power. To live single is to possess it fully. You may rise at dawn or sleep until noon, travel across oceans or remain still, spend or save, act or remain passive. Your choice is yours alone. This freedom is not trivial. It is the essence of human existence. When you live for yourself, you discover the boundless possibilities that dependence would forever keep locked away. Great works are born in silence. Writers, artists, thinkers, and builders throughout history discovered that solitude nurtures creation. Noise drowns vision, but quiet magnifies it. To remain single is to grant yourself the gift of undisturbed focus. You can pursue your craft, refine your skills, and give life to ideas without interruption. From this silence emerges the voice that can echo across time, unweakened by constant distraction. To bind yourself to another is to compromise, often in ways unseen. Little by little, you trade your uniqueness to keep the bond alive. The danger is subtle yet profound. You forget your wholeness. Remaining single protects your essence. You do not cut pieces from yourself to fit another's shape. You remain unbroken, unapologetically yourself, strong in your authenticity. In such a state, you are not half of a pair. You are an indivisible whole. Growth is accelerated in solitude. Without the constant maintenance of another's emotions, you can channel energy into your own becoming. Each day becomes a classroom where you are both student and teacher. You can study, train, refine your body, sharpen your mind, and explore your limits. This is not mere self-improvement, it is self-realization. Alone, you do not grow distracted. You grow focused, and the fruit of that focus is true mastery. In solitude, you cannot hide from yourself. Companionship often masks deeper questions, offering comfort instead of clarity. But when alone, you stand before the mirror of existence. Who am I? What is my purpose? What is worth living for? Such questions may sting, but they awaken the soul. Those who avoid solitude avoid truth. Those who embrace it discover an inner dialogue that no distraction can silence, a dialogue that leads to wisdom. The world teaches that joy must come from another's affection, yet this is a fragile illusion. Happiness drawn from outside will vanish when its source withdraws. True joy must be self-made, flowing from gratitude, purpose, and inner harmony. Singleness compels you to build this inner well. You learn to drink from your own spirit, not another's hand. In doing so, your happiness becomes untouchable, immune to the presence or absence of anyone else. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Loneliness is a hunger, a gnawing emptiness. Solitude is a feast, the feast of your own company. To enjoy being with yourself is the greatest strength of all. You are no longer afraid of silence or emptiness, for you know they are not enemies but allies. The one who delights in solitude gains invincibility, for nothing can shake the soul that has learned to be at home within itself. Fear drives many into companionship. Fear of silence, fear of judgment, fear of missing out. But bonds born from fear are shackles, not blessings. They may soothe for a moment, yet in time they strangle. To remain single is to choose courage, to face fear head-on rather than conceal it behind company. Courage builds freedom. And when freedom is gained through courage, no chain, no expectation, no illusion can hold you captive again. Time is life's most precious currency. To share it with another is often noble, but it is also costly. Arguments, compromises, endless adjustments, these drain hours that can never be reclaimed. In solitude, time belongs wholly to you. Every sunrise and sunset, every hour of labor and rest is under your command. Used wisely, this gift of unbroken time can build empires, cultivate talents, and construct a legacy carved into the stone of eternity. Hey buddy, you've watched to this point. We believe you find value from this video. Do well to subscribe and hit the bell button for more psychology and philosophy videos like this. Now let's continue our video. Know thyself. These ancient words remain the root of wisdom. Yet how can one truly know oneself when constantly shaped by another's expectations? Alone, you see yourself without distortion. No external voice reshapes your desires, no shadow bends your form. You are revealed as you are. Flawed, radiant, incomplete, yet whole. In this unfiltered self-knowledge lies the beginning of mastery. For you cannot command a life you do not first understand. Many seek love to complete them, but this is illusion. You were never half, you were always whole. To demand completion from another is to confess you are lost. To remain single is to embrace your fullness. You discover that the treasure you sought was within you all along. When you stand whole, you no longer beg for pieces of others. You offer your wholeness freely, and in doing so, you become unshakable in spirit and self. Freedom is not only of the mind, but also of the hand. When single, your resources remain yours to direct. No endless negotiations, no hidden resentments about money spent or saved. You decide, you invest, you create security according to your vision. This independence builds not only wealth, but dignity. You learn to stand tall on the foundation you alone construct, free from the weight of another's debts or demands. Resilience is the gift of solitude. When you do not lean constantly on another for strength, you discover your own. Each trial becomes a lesson in endurance, each hardship a forge for your spirit. The one who learns to face storms alone emerges tempered, unbreakable. Dependency weakens, but independence fortifies. To remain single is to build an inner fortress, stone by stone, lesson by lesson, until nothing can easily bring it down. To remain single is to reject conformity. The crowd says, pair up or you are incomplete. But you stand and answer, I will live as I am, not as you demand. This is authenticity. Refusing masks, refusing roles that do not fit your essence. To be authentic is not easy. It means walking paths less traveled, enduring the whispers of those who do not understand. Yet it is better to walk alone in truth than to march with the many in lies. Singleness expands the heart beyond narrow circles. Romance often isolates too, but solitude allows for many connections. Deep friendships bloom, bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood flourish. These ties can outlast passion, carrying greater stability and joy. To remain single is not to live loveless, but to redirect love widely. You discover the richness of community, the sweetness of friendships, and the beauty of bonds free from possessive chains. Romance promises bliss but often delivers heartbreak. Betrayal, disillusionment, bitterness, these shadows follow many who sought light. To remain single is to shield yourself from unnecessary wounds. You may still experience sorrow, for life spares no one, but you will avoid the pain of misplaced trust. By guarding your heart, you maintain its strength for pursuits that nourish rather than consume. It is not avoidance, it is wisdom born of foresight. Reflection is the birthplace of wisdom, but reflection requires silence. To live single is to have uninterrupted space for thought. You may question life, confront mortality, or seek meaning without distraction. Others flee from such reflection, drowning themselves in constant companionship. Yet the one who dares to sit with silence finds treasures of insight hidden deep within. To embrace solitude is to step into the workshop of wisdom itself. Flow, that state of complete immersion, comes more easily in solitude. Without the interruptions of another's demands, you can lose yourself in your craft, your studies, or your labor. Hours pass unnoticed, but progress is immense. This absorption is not escape, it is fulfillment. Singleness offers you the gift of undivided focus, where passion shapes destiny, and distraction cannot intrude. In such moments, life feels not burdensome, but radiant with purpose. When single, you shed the illusion that joy lies outside yourself. You learn that peace and satisfaction arise from within, from your own discipline and choices. This realization is freedom beyond all others. For when happiness is self-generated, you cannot be enslaved. No departure, no rejection, no absence can steal your light. You carry your own sun within, and wherever you go, day follows. This is the gift that solitude alone can teach. The world idolizes couples, declaring them the ultimate proof of success. Yet those who live single often enjoy greater freedom, less stress, and sharper focus. The flaw lies not in singleness but in the stigma attached to it. To embrace solitude with pride is to break this illusion. You stop measuring your worth by another's presence. You measure it by the fullness of your being, by the strength of your independence, by the truth of your soul. Energy is the essence of life, and relationships consume vast amounts of it. Negotiations, reconciliations, endless emotional labor drain what could be invested elsewhere. Singleness redirects this energy inward. It flows into growth, into learning, into building. Over time, this investment multiplies, creating strength, creativity, and vitality. To remain single is to spend your energy where it bears fruit, not where it is wasted on constant repair. Pleasure and meaning are not the same. Romance may bring moments of pleasure, but often at the cost of deeper pursuits. Solitude, though quieter, creates the space for meaning. You may study, create, serve, or discover truths that fleeting passions cannot offer. This is the difference between smoke and flame. Pleasure vanishes in moments, but meaning endures. To remain single is to pursue what lasts, not what merely entertains. Boundaries are the walls of the soul, yet in relationships they often crumble. Lovers overstep, blur, and sometimes erase them. In solitude, you fortify these walls. You learn to guard your peace, your time, your values. This is not isolation, it is protection. The stronger your boundaries, the more freely you can live. To remain single is to become a master of self-protection, never allowing the world to trespass without your consent. Self-love is born in solitude. Without constant validation, you must find worth within yourself. At first it is difficult, even painful, but over time it creates strength no one can give or take away. You begin to see your flaws without hatred, your strengths without arrogance. This balanced self-view is the root of true confidence. To remain single is to train the heart to love itself fully, the most important love of all. We are all destined to face death alone. Companions may walk beside us for a time, but the final step is ours alone to take. To live single is to prepare for this truth, not in despair, but in courage. You learn to walk in solitude now so that when the last solitude comes, it does not terrify you. You have already made peace with being alone, thus you greet the inevitable with calm dignity, not fear. In a society that glorifies coupling, to remain single is an act of rebellion. It is a declaration that you will not be defined by tradition or expectation, but by your own truth. Such defiance is not arrogance, it is authenticity. It is the courage to say, I will live as I am. And while the world may not understand, it is in this rebellion that you discover true freedom. The freedom to define life for yourself. So why is staying single the best thing you can do? Because it forces you to face yourself, to master your time, to build your strength, and to cultivate peace. It protects your energy, guards your freedom, and prepares you for life's deepest truths. Singleness is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the choice to live not half a life in fear, but a whole life in truth. And that, my students, is the greatest path of all.